How you doing tonight? Welcome to the Weekly Scheme Podcast. It's your host, Mansa Musa Jr. Hope everybody's having a good night. I'd like to start off with you can find the Weekly Scheme Podcast on YouTube. We have a page there. We're on Twitter. We're actually on Facebook. We have a like page, so like, share that. And we also have a group where we talk about topics and throughout the week, and we come and we talk about them. And most of the time, I'll pick topics and come on to on YouTube and talk about them on the podcast. I'd like to thank everybody that's supporting. The love that you give is appreciated much, and I like to say that we are going to continue to grow and do different things on different platforms. But this will be our groundwork right here, which is the Weekly Scheme Podcast. And we're going to be getting into different areas of interviewing people on different topics that I want to get out there to people. But tonight we're going to actually talk about false narratives are the norm. And the thing with this is, and it was a lot that made me want to deal with this topic because I've been real quiet. I didn't do an episode last week because this topic right here was real. It was real touchy. The stuff I was seeing with people and people doing certain things, and it didn't sit right with me. So I just sat back and I actually just watched how everything turned out, how everybody was acting, and different things like that. And then that's what made this topic that I'm on right now, because a false narrative is something that shouldn't be out there. You shouldn't do a false narrative because it's misleading people. You're giving people a deception of a story. You're giving them half truths, because that's what a false narrative is actually, and which I'm going to put up so you can actually see it on the screen. What is a false narrative? A false narrative happens because there is insufficient information and inaccurate assessment. So that means that somebody could actually tell you a story and be telling you part truths of it, but actually give you a piece of it that's not true, which will mislead you to understand what's going on. It'll give you your perception won't be to the fullest extent that it's supposed to be, because it's not the full truth. It's just they're just giving you a part of it, and then they're putting the part that they want to put in it. So you're running with that, which will cause a false narrative and a false story. And that's what a lot of people are doing. I'll give you an example. A guy gets caught cheating by his girlfriend, but he was running around and pushing a false narrative that he and the other woman that he was running with were just friends. To anybody that would listen, so they would think that he wasn't doing anything. So that's a false narrative. It's not your friend. It's actually somebody you're messing with. You're cheating on your girlfriend, but you're giving somebody the perception that, oh, we're just friends, nothing's going on. But in the back, you're messing with her. You get what I'm saying? So, and then there's another one that I'm gonna give you. And don't take it the wrong way, because I don't bash Trump. I don't care, but it's a good one. Donald Trump is pushing a false narrative that the Mueller investigation is a witch hunt created by the Democratic Party. But Mueller is a Republican. So when he says Mueller's investigation is a witch hunt created by the Democratic Party, you're like, yo, your mind's thinking like, yo, the Democratic Party. So you're getting angry, oh, the right wing, oh, and you're getting mad. But the whole time you're not looking that Mueller is a Republican. That's a false narrative. You're giving false information or misleading information on somebody, and it could actually Hey, what's good with y'all? It's a false narrative that you're giving somebody, and then you run with it. So you're actually being deceptive to people, and that's what a lot has been going on, on social media. And that's why I didn't make an episode last week, because it was a lot of that going on, and it's carried into this week, where there's just stories popping all over the place, and half of them is just people just running with half truths, and you don't even understand what you're even talking about, and that's the stuff that bothers me, that people are doing it. So that's why you're starting to see a lot of people. If you look at the videos that they're putting up, they're putting videos up and it says YouTube, and it'd be like YouTube, Jason explaining the coronavirus. Who the hell is Jason? Who told you? Who told me that I'm supposed to be believing what Jason talking about? And then you look at the video and you start to listen to him, and they talking some falsified bull crap that makes no sense. And you're like, what? But they got 20,000 views. So that's 20,000 people that listen to that man, and he's making it up, and he made up half truths, and people ran with it, and they're spreading more and more and more and more. And that's what's happening with that 5G, and it's actually happening with the coronavirus or the COVID-19. And previous episodes, I was telling people certain things, but people weren't catching on to what I was saying, because they thought that I was just making something up. But the thing with me is I study before I say something to you. I just don't make nothing up. So if I say something, you'll be able to look it up, and you'll be like, oh, dang. And you can continuously keep looking it up. Because once I look something up and I keep going down the line, I'll keep looking and looking to see, and I'll try to see if somebody said something false about it. And then I'll weigh it. Then I'll drop stuff off. So I'm not giving out, false information to people. And that's what a lot of people do. You got the news outlets, and they do it. Fox News is good for it. All of them do it, but there's ones that are real good at it. And you really can't catch them if you're not well studied, and they'll give a false something out there to you, and you'll be like, what? And then you won't understand what's going on. And I'll give you an example. Today, I was watching the live at the White House press conference, and a guy asked Trump something, and he asked him the question. This is a reporter. He asked him a question, and then Trump responded to him and said, well, what have you heard? And he goes, well, I didn't hear anything. He said, so why are you going to ask me a question and you don't even know what you're talking about and asking me the question? And he says, we're going to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? He said, we're going to move on from that because you're trying to start something. And I looked at him, I was like, wow. I was like, that's true. That's my topic today. And I actually watched a news reporter try to do it to him, to Trump. But most people think, if I was thinking all irrational, like most Democrats want you to think, or Republicans want you to think bad about Democrats, I would have never peeped what that reporter was doing to Trump. And I'd have been led down a path of thinking like, okay, this guy was trying to ask him a good question. So now Trump just pushed him to the side like he was a nobody, and something's wrong with him. And that's not fair to the public to continuously keep putting out false narratives to people, and it's bad, man. It's really, really bad. YouTube does it. The news does it. People in everyday life do it. Everybody in everyday life does it. That's why it's becoming a norm for people to do that to people. And that's why I say he said anything Trump says is a false narrative. He does it a lot. He does a lot of smoke and mirrors. He does a lot of smoke and mirrors. And if you're not paying attention to him, he'll catch you, with something, and you'd be like, what did he say? But once he does it, he's so slick, he'll move somewhere else with it, because people think that Trump's, he to me, I always call Trump, he's an asshole. That's what I say about him. I never say that he's stupid or he's dumb, because he's really not dumb. To get as rich as he got, he had to be able to manipulate people to get as rich as he got and to do what he does. That man has filed bankruptcy so many times, but the man's still getting money. So there has to be some type of intelligence in that man's brain, you know, and most people won't give him that because they keep saying that he's lying and he's saying this and he's saying this. Everything the man don't say is a lie. Everything he says isn't a lie, you know, and that's what people have to understand. And you have to be true to yourself to understand that everything he doesn't say is a lie. He's just an asshole, and he just puts stuff out there that is false sometimes. And that's for people that don't know what they're talking about. And he just thinks people are ignorant, you know. And a lot of the things that most people that I'm going to get into this 5G thing that's really starting to bother me. The 5G, people are running around and saying that they're tearing down towers. He's a used car salesman. He does a lot of terrible things. He does. He does. And it's just ridiculous. But you just got to be smart. That's why I made this podcast, because people got to be up on information. It's been around. It's been all around us. Trump just brought it to the light. How is this true? That's 100% true. And I told people that a long time ago about that guy. I said, he's just in the forefront and showing you what people hide. And he's just doing it in your face. And you're like, what the hell's wrong with the dude? That's all he's really doing. You're 100% correct about it. He's just doing it in the light to you, and everybody sees him, you know? And Mr. Random, that's my buddy right there. So listen, this 5G thing, let me show you the false narrative is this. People are running around, and there's videos out there of people tearing down 5G towers. There's a video that's going viral of it. And then you see people like Asians pouring the water inside of, you know, the pole of it, trying to like short circuit it. It's not true. That's old. Because when I seen it, I said, hold up. I looked it up. It's old. It's years old. You know what I'm saying? But they did tear it down, but it had nothing to do with 5G. But people are putting it out there like that's what they're doing now, and they're tearing it down. Ain't nobody tearing down no towers right now. Nobody's doing it. You know, and that's not fair, because actually when you put a video up, because I can actually do it if I wanted to spread a false narrative, I can actually take off a timestamp of something and just put it up like it's brand new news. And if you don't know no better, you'll be like, oh, wow, what is that? And the whole time, I know I'm misleading you because I took all the timestamp over. You don't know if it's true or not. You're just looking at it and saying, okay, well, that guy, I don't think he would lie to me. All right, I'll take it as truth, and you run with it. And that's what they did with that 5G, because it's not truth and them tearing down towers though. But the thing, when I'm gonna tell you this with 5G is that we've been, and this is another false narrative. People think that what we're going through with 5G is something new. People have been getting, they get radiation cancer from it. You know, they've been getting radiation cancer from it for a long time with 3G, 4G. But the thing that's going to be different about 5G is the way it's pumping out, the way it releases the signal. And it's in short increments, up to 250 megahertz. So what they're doing is that they have a big giant tower. And what it does is it takes it and it disperses it out to the little ones that you see them putting in cities or on top of buildings. So the big one shoots it out, the other one catches it and it starts to shoot it to people. And that's how it's reaching places. Why 3G, 4G was just a big tower that was just shooting long waves out, and everybody could just grab it, but it wasn't strong enough. That's why you would lose signal when you do certain things. The stuff that they're putting out with 5G is coming in short increments, but it's strong the way it's coming. It's just other things that are picking it up and pushing it farther out so it can get to more people. That's why, and then 5G can't actually go through certain things. That's why in the cities, they're actually ripping down trees because it can't go through solid objects. It actually can't go to us. It can't go through us. It can't go through a brick wall. That's why they have to take stuff and put it inside or put it on top of a building so it can shoot onto it. And there's actually videos of them tearing trees down. And the 5G shit real. I seen a water tower in North Philly that has cellular panels. I mean, in the heart of the Badlands. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're putting it out. They're putting it everywhere. It's everywhere. It's so bad that they have it in certain areas. They have it on light poles. On light poles in neighborhoods. In every single little light pole. And a lady was actually speaking about it, and she says it's so bad, and people started getting sick that it took the property value of their houses down 20%, and they can't sell their house because of the stuff that they're putting up there, and people don't know what to do, and they're taking them to court to make them tear it down because they won't tear it down. And this is the stuff that they're doing. This is truth that people need to know, and not the false narratives that people are putting out there. People are going to get sick, and you can actually release, they can actually control how the megahertz that they want to push it out. Right now, it's not pushing out very hard in the megahertz until they can actually turn it up to where it start pushing out real hard to get to your phone, and you can download and by the seconds, and then you can download real fast. Like one G type things, you can download it in seconds, boop, and it'll pop up, which is not doing now. So now that right there, if that's in your pocket, and what most people don't understand, if you take your cell phone and you take a radiation meter and you put it near it, and the phone starts doing it, like it starts ringing or starts to catch on to a signal, that radiation thing will pick it up. That's all it is. That's why they say on the batteries, if you look in there, most phones that we got now, it's breaking down your immune system. Yeah, most of those phones that you see now, you can't take a battery out. Now, why is that? Why did they stop making it where you can't take a battery out of it? You know, because before when you used to take a battery, if you had one, pull it out and read it. All the little information's on it. It'll tell you what's in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we're walking around with in our pocket. That's why I don't put a phone in my head. It's already bad enough for me because I have one, but I'll put it on speakerphone. And if I don't want to have it on speakerphone in front of somebody, I'll just deny the call until I'm by myself if I don't want somebody to hear it. But that's what it's doing. And actually, it's the molecular structure that's in our skin and our DNA. It actually breaks it down in your cell. It's the nickel in the batteries. Yes, it is. It breaks down because in our DNA, it's actually like a cellular phone. So us carrying a cellular phone around us, this is what's getting us sick. It's trying to break our body down because it's trying to fight against its own self. So the cell phone is trying to fight our cells, which is trying to fight that off because it's trying to reject it. Like, what is that? That's not normal to my body. And it starts to break down your DNA, which will cause you to start to let in cancer and different things. And you'll start to lose memory. You'll get headaches. And you'll start to forget things. And a lot of people are not understanding what this stuff is doing to you. That's what 5G is really going to start to do to you. Now, in my previous episodes, I talked about the 5G. I said, could it cause something with this coronavirus? That's why I said my first one before that was the coronavirus, COVID-19. Is it truth or is it a hoax? I put it out there for people to have to understand it before it started to get bad like it's getting. Because I don't want false narratives that make you have to look at it yourself. Is it true? Okay. And if you look at it, you had to actually do study. I put you on a course to find study. You know what I'm saying? So you could find out the truth and look it up. Most people are falling for these false narratives because they don't want to study. They don't want to learn anything. They just want somebody to tell them, and they just taking stuff for face value in it. And that's not what it is. That's why there's a lot of people walking around with stupidity in them. They just dumb. And I said it on my Facebook, and somebody got on there and was like, that's not nice. I don't care if it's nice. Because people are dying from stupidity. I'm not going to sit here and know something, and I'm going to sit there and let you keep doing it. I'm just not. You can either like me or you don't gotta like me. It don't bother me. I got skin condition on my hands from a Samsung battery. Yeah, yeah, you can. Yes, you can. And that's bad. That's bad. And people don't understand what's going on with this stuff. And I actually had to go. Watch this. I'm gonna tell you about this COVID-19. I actually, for the first time in weeks, I left this house. I left the house. I had to go to a doctor for my high blood pressure because I ran out. I get a 90-day supply because I don't like having to get like 30 and then go back again and again. So I get a 90-day supply from them. But she had to see me just in case she keeps trying to give me something that's not working. I could sue them. So she was like, yo, we do video, but that's for people that are sick. We're not going to let you do the video. You have to come in here. I was like, you know, I don't want to come in there. She's like, but you have to. She's like, Abdul, you got to come in. So I went in there. I go in there. Nobody's really in there. All of them got masks on. And this is a lady that I've been dealing with for about 6-7 years. 6-7 years. So I trust what she says because I know she knows who I am as a person, and I learned her as a person. Now this is a nurse telling me this. This is a nurse. She had a mask on. She goes to her family's house or her daughter. She takes her mom. They go and they sit on a porch. They're about 6-7 feet away on a porch. And her daughter's actually a nurse too. They're 6-7 feet. This is her telling me this. So this is not a false narrative. I'm telling the truth. It came out of her mouth. Okay, watch. 6 or 7 feet away from them, they drink wine. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? She says, I said, well, why are they telling people that you can't go around? I said, they're yelling at people right now about being out there around people. I said, Denise, are you serious? She says, what do you mean? I said, they're telling us we were on 24-hour. We had to stay in the house. She says, oh, they just said that because people weren't listening in the beginning. I was like, what? I said, so we're allowed to do it? She was like, you have to your blood pressure is a little high. You got to start doing some exercises. So are you moving around? Because you lost your job. You told me you lost your job. Are you moving around? I said, moving around where? I said, I do yard work. You know what she said to me? She said, no, I mean walking around. I said, walk around where? She said, around your neighborhood. You know what I mean? We're going to another neighborhood. I said, they said we're not allowed to do that. Hey, Juddy. She said, I said, they said we're not allowed to do that. She goes, yeah, you are. What do you mean? I said, Denise, are you serious what you're saying to me right now? She said, I'm 100% serious. She said, you can do it. She says, that's what she got into the thing. She goes, I go see my daughter all the time. I take my mom. She's 80-something years old. I go shopping for her. I go see them. I empty my, open my trunk up. I put it in their trunk. And I wipe it down. I put it in their trunk. Then they take it home. And then I wipe myself down and go home. She goes, and my daughter, we sit there with her and we drink our own wine. We don't drink off the same thing. We don't hug. I just go up on the porch and I sit with them. And I said, so I'm allowed to go outside. She said, yeah, you can go outside. I said, so if I get in trouble, I can blame it on you. She said, you're allowed to go outside. She said, well, I've never lied to you before. She goes, we get on meetings every week. You're allowed to go out. You just have to do social distancing. I said, but they're telling us we're not allowed to do it. And I just heard Trump. He goes, and what did they say? They said, you're doing good for 2 weeks. You're doing good. Now we just have to keep on this course that we're doing so everybody will be okay. I said, and I'm looking, I'm like, because I already talked to her. This was today. I seen her earlier in the day, 9:30, and then I'm listening to Trump and the dude talk on there. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, so go on the same path that you're doing and just stay away, just stay quarantined. I'm like, I'm like, Yo, first of all, I said, I don't like confusion. So I said, what the hell is going on? I said, so you're telling me you're getting calls in conferences with big people, the big corporations that run everything, and they're saying that it's fine to do, and you saying that you had COVID-19 people that have it, and they're the people that you do on video. But you're telling me I could walk around my neighborhood. She says, if somebody walk near you, she said, with me, I walk on the other side of the road. I said, okay. She goes, I actually go to a high school and go on the track. I walk around. She goes, and then one time there was a guy on there that was running, and he got real close to me. He started coughing, and then he spit on the floor. She says, I just backed away from him, and I just walked around and just kept my distance further. And this is a nurse saying this. So they're giving false narratives then. Their false narratives cause confusion, deception, a lack of communication, fear, which was one of my topics on the podcast, fear. And if I wouldn't have had to go for my blood pressure, I would have never knew because she wouldn't have told me that if I didn't have to go in there. People out here like they don't even know there's a pandemic. Maybe they don't want us talking about the conflicting stories about the virus, so they are telling us to stay apart. Listen, ain't nothing crazy about me. I'm not dumb. I don't like confusion. And anybody that knows me personally, I don't like confusion. It gets on my nerves, and it makes me mad. And right now, I'm telling you, there's false narratives and confusion. And they're actually putting out, this is my next thing. Look at this. They're putting out an illusion. An illusion is a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. They're giving a false illusion, a false narrative, which is causing people to have an illusion of something that really is not what they're saying. They're saying a lot of people, they said Jersey, New York is bad, and North Jersey is where they're really catching bad cases, but we're catching them down here. They say we're catching them down here, but we're allowed to move around. I had to go to Paulsboro. It was just another day out here. Feast. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is the false narrative. Who's doing it? Now, I just talked to a woman that I've been around for 7 years, has never lied to me. Never. I've never heard her lie to me. Now, I know what this government does. They're known for lying. I know their movements as a snake. Okay? So you got all these people out here going crazy and fearful for certain things, and you're telling them one thing when the nurses is telling them something else, and the doctors. Because the people that I'm seeing walking around, because I was actually saying this with Tony. I was saying this before I went to the doctor, and I seen her. This was weeks ago. I was like, how are people getting in trouble for being supposed to be locked down? And I'm watching people outside the house walking up and down, walking dogs, jogging, cops passing by. Hi. Oh, bruh. What y'all doing? I thought we were supposed to be in the house. And this is why I got quiet. That's why I said to people, when I get quiet, best believe there's something going on, because I'm looking at something. Because I have to quiet myself down because of how I am. If I get too hyped up, I won't be able to perceive what I really am looking at. I'll make mistakes. So I just sit there quietly. And this is what I started perceiving and looking at. Like, y'all are saying this and nothing's adding up. Then I go to my doctor, which is weeks later. She's telling me something totally different. Then I come home and I'm listening to him tell me something totally different from the White House press conference. What is wrong with these people? That you can just walk around and think that you can just literally do and say whatever you want to know to people. If I did that, they would lock me up forever. I would get a Fed charge for telling people and exciting riots and what else do they call it? It's called what do they call it? When you not hysteria, like I'll get people going crazy about something that ain't true. I would get locked up over that, but they don't get locked up. So they just walking around doing whatever they want to do. So how is that fair? But you want me to believe what you're saying to me, government. You want me to believe what you're saying. So how am I supposed to believe you when you're giving conflicting things to nurses and they tell me I can walk around and she's a nurse and she wasn't even scared of me. She was touching me and everything. She was this close to me. All she did was put hand sanitizer on and go like that. And I'm looking at her and she was like, Abdul, why are you looking at me like that? I said, and she just shook her head. She said, Abdul, don't start. I was like, no. I was like, because this is bull crap. I said, this is crazy that they're doing this to people. She said, I'm going to take the fifth. That's what she said. I'm going to take the fifth. I said, what? You're going to take the what? The fifth. Oh, so you know what I'm saying is true then? That they're really doing it. You basically just told me, yeah, that's what they're doing. So are people wrong for saying that, hey, they don't believe it? Because now it's this confusion. That's why you see social media going crazy. People saying, I believe it. And people saying, I don't. Oh, I'm tired of you. People, yo, listen, I have 5,000 followers. I lose 4 or 5 people a day. And people come right back in. And it says people that you may know, add as a friend or remove. People that I just talked to deleted me. And I'm not talking crazy to people. I actually talk to people nicely. I'm not yelling at them or nothing. Add friend. I looked, I said, huh? What the? I said, wow, I don't say nothing to you because you know what? Why do I gotta try to prove anything to you? You don't want to be around me. I don't care. That's your prerogative. You know? But something I'm saying is rubbing you the wrong way. And I'm not saying nothing crazy. I'm not saying anything crazy. He said, yep, there a certain group of people they want to either use their benefit or wipe them out and their bloodline. They have a God complex. Yes, they will kill you over that. Black knowledge seekers are on the top 10 terrorist groups list. They know what's up. Trust me. Hey, listen, Juddy, that's crazy that you said. Don't get scared. They get scared, and I don't blame them. You brought me to my last thing, my closing. Now, they got all this going on. There have been natural disasters in America. I'm just doing America, but it's more. It's all over the world. In America, California, 6.5 magnitude earthquake. And then one was in Idaho. It's never been seen that magnitude in either one of those places. But nobody's paying attention to it. I get 1 million likes all the time. I put that up there. Guess how many likes I get? Like 3 or 4. People not paying attention. But I guarantee you, people will start talking about it 2-3 weeks from now, looking crazy, acting like they haven't seen something. You know what I'm saying? Or they wasn't warned. So now if I close my mouth and just start saying ignorant stuff, they'll be fine with that. Locusts is eating up fields in Africa. Listen, hey, Jody, it's real out here. These people are not understanding what's going on. Stuff is going crazy, and people better start looking at it for what it is and stop acting like you ain't got no sense. Because I'm telling you right now, the time we're in, it's going to cost you your life. And I'm not making and putting fear in people. It's just the truth. And I'm speaking it straight to you. And there's another thing that's going to happen. They're in the works. They're in the works to find a way to bring up this Emergency Act of 1976 to where they can give all the control to the president. He still has to go through processes though. But he can say, I'm going to do something. And if they say, all right, here, boom, he could do it. They'll give it to FEMA. FEMA will be controlling and different things like that. They can set up the camps. They can do this. This is the stuff they were doing in other countries. Nobody's watching them. That's what they said. I was saying years ago, it's going to come on home. It's going to come on home to here. And it's starting to happen and nobody's looking at it because they're pumping fear in you and they're making you react a certain way. They have a thing that once they pass that, they're trying to pass a law to where they can lock you up, come in your house, lock you up, not let you see a judge, prosecutor, nothing. It's underneath the video, Johnny. They don't have to let you see anything, and they can hold you indefinitely. Indefinitely. You know what indefinitely means? Indefinitely. That means that they can just actually kidnap you. Ain't worry about training. You want to know what they're going to do? Feast. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. People that start speaking that stuff, they're going to snatch them. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you what she said. She told somebody and they looked at her like she was crazy. She goes, well, hey, why don't he come out with you and go over there with you to go over there and do that? She goes, oh, he ain't coming there. They said, why? She said, because he not going to no hospital because he says they might say he has it. Then they'll kidnap him and take him. But people think I'm crazy for saying it. But watch people start coming up missing. If it ain't happening already. Because that's how they're going to quiet you. Because I learned it. That's why if you look at Farrakhan, he said his last thing after Savior's Day, Farrakhan, he said, I'm going to shut my mouth. And you won't hear from me for a little bit. He said, because you know what they're going to do. And it's coming. This is before this pandemic came. He says, they're going to try to snatch me off the street. And then a week and a half, 2 weeks later, this all happened. And now they're trying to pass a law to where they can snatch you off the street. Don't got to tell your family, charge you nothing. The same thing that they was doing to them people in those other countries. Or them people they were bringing here, Guantanamo Bay. Hey, listen, you don't hear about that no more, do you? What are they doing? Where are them people at? Is it still filled up? And if it is there and it's a building they got it there, who are they going to put in there? Who are they going to put in there? I was saying this years ago. Who are they going to put in there? I told people a long time ago, I said, you think there's racist people out there. There's white racists out there. I said, but you want to know something? There's a group of those white dudes that you've seen that I was talking about that were marching on Washington, D.C. that are, they call them, it's not a white supremacist. It's a white, like power, not like you would think KKK. They're for the government. They're armed and they're going to fight them. And they're willing to die for it. They're willing to die for it because they know what they're doing to us. They know what they're taking their liberties away. Nationalists. Thank you, Feast. On it. And they know what they're doing. That's why yo, listen, when this happened, what was the first thing you seen that they said it wasn't the shelves that was emptying first? What emptied first? I'll wait and see if you put it up on there. I'm gonna tell you what they emptied first. They emptied those gun shelves and that ammo. That's what they emptied first. Who getting it? Who getting the ammo? That's just the first thing that I think in my brain. Who took that? Where did it go? Oh, that's what y'all doing? They arming themselves. Because you ain't gonna come in there and take them out their house. They not playing that. This is why I say, if you can feel like that with your people, why do I gotta be a black supremacist, and oh, you just always talking this black stuff. Well, why, if you care about your people, why can't you warn them? You can warn them. Why I can't warn mine? Why can't I warn mine? Why can't we do stuff that we want to do and try to protect our people? Well, we not supposed to love each other? We're not supposed to love each other. We're just supposed to just keep treating each other like dogs. But we can go on them streets and feel and kill each other wholesale, like it's nothing. And they don't pump it out there and show you that that's what we doing, killing each other wholesale. You can do that and pull the trigger on them. Okay, well, what you gonna do when these people come out here and get you? You gonna turn around and point that gun that way? Are you? Or are you gonna bitch up and say nothing and be a chump? But you can turn around and put a pistol in my face. And I'm the same color as you. But you won't protect me in our neighborhoods? When they come, and you're all scared now, you ain't talking too much craziness now? You's a coward. If you're not willing to stand up and die for something. Because I tell you what, them white people out there that's like that, them Nats, they don't play. They not. They not. They wait until they do it. Wait until they do it. You're gonna see. Because all them people that's out there wholesale killing, we killing each other. Yo, I want to see y'all. I want to see you. You want to protect our women and children when they come running in our house? And kill them like a dog? You want to do that to them? I want to see. You're so tough. Everybody tough all the time. They always tough. We're going to see how tough you are. Dog, I told you I was trained a long time ago, man. A long time ago. Because I said, there's something that you want from me, you'll never take it from me. Never. I tell you, like Farrakhan told me, he said, man, I'll haunt you from the grave for generations to come. And that's real. Because when he's inside of people, it got nothing to do with this. It's inside of people. It's a mind frame. It's a mind frame. That's all it is, man. It's a mind frame. Forget these false narratives, man. Start studying. Start doing the right thing. Because if you don't, man, it's going to cost you your life. It's going to cost you your life, and it's going to be a shame because it's going to be gone. You're just not going to take my life. You think that you're just going to do whatever you want to me. Yeah, over my dead body, you're not going to do whatever you want to me. You're just not. And me speaking the way I'm speaking, because I'm going to get more and more and gain momentum. And I talked about this with Mr. Random. I said, watch, soon they're going to try to start deleting me. They're going to start taking my stuff down. They're going to start doing whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy for you and proud of you. Thank you. But you grew, you know me. And you know I ain't playing with these people. You're not going to keep putting false narratives out here and having people looking all crazy like they don't know what. Now you got people so confused. It turned inward now. Now we're fighting each other. And we forgot about them. Now we forgot about them because we're fighting each other. I'm tired of you posting that up there. I'm sick of you doing this. What are we going to do something nice? Hey, let's play this game. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this in your camera roll? Man, fuck that camera roll. What you learning, man? Seriously. Because they got you under this false illusion like it's like nothing's going on no more. People, you too scared to even come out your house. You're too scared to say anything. You don't even want to open your mouth and speak. That's why I made that episode, Fear. And people wasn't understanding what I was saying to them. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Now watch what I'm saying. Watch. Just watch it. It'll come down and you'll be like, man, what the hell? I'm telling you, watch. Just watch. Because you saw what they did in Louisiana, them people, when they died like that, man, they left them there like they were nothing. They went over them like they were in a zoo. In a zoo. People were dying, man. Dying. And they're going to do it again. And these people are saying that there was a guy, I forget his name. It's a white guy. He does films. He does films. He wears glasses and he always wears a hat. And he's a chubby, fat guy. I was looking for something about false narratives. And an article popped up. I said, oh, what is that? And it was from almost 2 years ago. So I started reading it. Michael Moore. My man, face is on with me. Y'all, man, y'all love y'all here with me, man. Y'all got me. That's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all making this podcast. All y'all helping me. That's right. Michael Moore. They said he was crazy. It's almost 2 years ago. When I find the article, yup, Michael Moore. When I find the article, he said that Trump was going to do exactly what he's done. Yo, what he said, it's happening to the T. He said this almost 2 years ago. Before he even did it, there was nothing even happening like this. He said he's going to make a fake emergency to scare people, put a false narrative out there. And he's going to push it on and say the Democrats this and the Democrats that. And I looked in the comments and people were saying, dude, they started coming at him, you fat guy, and this. I said, y'all talking about his weight after all he just said in this article? And y'all giving him a platform and all this, you fat and you're obese. I said, that's all you got to say to what he just said in that article? That's what you got to say, huh? You just gonna come at his weight? But none of y'all said he wasn't true. You just said he was a right wing, and he was wrong. But everything, listen, man, I read the article. They beat him down, and that man was 100% right. It actually scared me. And I looked at it for like 20 minutes. I just kept reading over. I said, this can't be. I kept looking at the date. I said, yo. And it's true. Everything he said he was going to do, he did it. And he's doing it right now. He said he's going to take your liberties away. And he's going to give you nothing. And he's going to gain control. That's why I call him King Nebuchadnezzar. I said, oops, my fault, Trump. He's a smart dude, but they say something wrong with me, crazy. And he's something wrong. No, ain't nothing wrong with him. No, he ain't. He had the inside info and actually shared, which is rare for a white man. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I'm telling you, and I'm going to put, when I go and get the article, I'm going to put it in the description. I'm going to put it in the description for y'all so y'all can see that. And so you can read it and look at the date on it and read it and then read in the comments what the people are saying about him. And you'll be like, what? And they acted like he was spreading a false narrative, and he was just telling the truth about what he saw, what he was going to do. He's seen it to the T. But you got other people out here spreading false narratives and got people feeling crazy and scared and fearful, and they don't know what to do anymore. Now now we're fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I sit back and I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And Tony told me, she said, why are you not saying anything to the people? Why are you not doing an episode? I said, because I'm looking at something. She said, what are you looking at? I said, don't worry. I said, I'm looking at something and I'm going to do it. I said, because this next episode, King Nebuchadnezzar, that's who he is. That's who he is. That's who he is. That's who he is. And he's going to do it. He's going to do and pass these things. And people aren't paying attention because they fighting Democrat, Republican, and they going like this, fighting back and forth. I don't follow none of you fools. None of you. I follow truth, and I'm paying attention to all of you because I don't care that you say that about Trump, because Trump is just an asshole. He's just a dummy. And anybody with a president, they're just a puppet. Because that shadow government behind it, that's the one you better worry about. They the ones. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about, oh, Trump this and Trump that. Hey, man, listen, bro. You better look at Clinton. You better, and everybody liked Obama. Bro, I watched what that man was passing. I watched what he did. I watched what he did. Everything wasn't bad, but he passed some things that were really, really bad. They were really, really bad. And I was like, whoo. And nobody caught it because they were caught up in, oh, Obama, he's our savior. He's a and he just came in and he ran through and he ran up out of there and he's gone. And he left certain things in power, which Trump can take and move like as a tool. He didn't, everybody keeps saying he's undoing what Obama did. He ain't undoing everything. No, he not. Some of that stuff he's using it right now. He's using it on you. And people don't know that he's using. He's doing it right now. And one of those things you're gonna see. You're gonna see what he did. And mark my words, it's gonna come in the coming weeks. And everything that I said, that's why I said people, and it ain't me, because I'm gonna do something on the ego. And people better learn one thing about me. I'm not egotistical. When I tell people I'm showing you something, these episodes that I'm putting out, if you look at the timestamp that I put them out and what was going on at that time, they weren't saying it, and it starts to come after it. And everything that I was doing was right in time, and it's what they're doing. And you'll start to listen because you got to sound those trumpets off. That's what I was taught. You got to sound the trumpet for these people, man, because they're not listening to you. They dumb, deaf, and blind. The 85%, they hard to move in the right way, but easy to move in the wrong way. That's what they do. They don't listen. They don't pay attention. They don't study. The 10% are the ones that are wickedly wise, that are moving everybody and manipulating everything. That shadow government. The 5% is the poor righteous teachers that, like me and other people out there, that are teaching. They're teaching and nobody listens to them. They're like, hey, well, what are you doing? They're all grimy. Obama loves spying on people. That's one of the things, Feast. Obama was the wolf in sheep's clothing and he will pay for that. Yes, he was. And that's the thing that he did, the spying thing. Now, the 5G, because I'm going over my time. Y'all got me rocking right now. That 5G is what the thing that if you look in the one episode I was doing, Calling COVID-19, I was talking about why they had to pass this 5G and why they're doing it and why they're making those cell towers the way they're doing it and why they're making it the megahertz and how it's pumping out the way it's doing it. There's a reason why they're doing it, because it's satellites that they have up there that they need that are coming down that your boy Obama did, which is allowing for that. If you actually saw what they have up there looking down here, that's why you keep thinking you're looking at stars. You're not looking at stars. My father told me, he says, when I was growing up, there wasn't this many stars. I said, what do you mean, Pop? It wasn't this many stars, son. We had the North Star, you had certain ones. I said, so what are the other ones? He said, they're satellites. I said, what? He said, yeah. They're beaming back down here. He said, that's what they're doing. They're beaming everything and they're watching us. He said, they could go down and look at a penny in my pocket. And he said, nah, I'm not made for this time. He said, but I know somebody is. And I said, who? And he said, you. He said, and you're going to have to make another one. Oh, I watched that Eric Snowden documentary. I watched them all. Yep, as soon as I called out having faces or names for the casualties of this pandemic, they started flooding us with people's faces and names. Yep. He always taught us to look up, pay attention. Pay attention. Because it's not a game. Do you think that I want to run around and have to study all the time and have to tell a stiff-necked, hard-hearted, and rebellious people, hey, listen, I didn't grow up in my life thinking, hey, this is what I want to do and I want to be. I want to enjoy my life. Why I want to teach somebody that don't want to listen? But I'm telling you something that's true. I'm not egotistical, and you'll start to see. And I keep telling people, I said, yo, I'm not the type of person that just vanishes. I'm not the type of person that don't communicate people. I said, I don't like people, but you'll be able to find me if you really want to find me. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't find me and you don't see me for a long time, better know. But I got something for them. They not gonna run and try to do what they want to me. They not, because I got something for that. I got something for them. Because they're killing people, man, and they're doing it wholesale. Elijah said, he said they will spill your blood in the streets to where it would look like rainwater running down into the sewers. He said money won't mean a thing. They'll be lighting their cigars with $100 bills. Just think about that. What are you going to do when money, nothing else means anything? When it's just you. That's why when I look at something, I look and see where God's hand is on it. First thing I look at. Where's his hand at on all this? You got set down for a reason. And I didn't sit around just playing. I actually got back into my studies because I was falling off. I got back into them. And they didn't start an engine up that's not going back off again or falling off. I'm not going off again. I'm going to teach, and people are going to understand what I'm saying. And there's a reason why I put up the post, hater. Them haters, and it had Money Mike with the razor, that straight razor. Like I said it for a reason, because there's people out there that are looking and they're smiling, and all they want to do is sabotage me because they don't want me to say nothing. Because then they have to be held accountable for what they hearing. You know what I'm saying? That's why most of the people I told you, they started deleting me because they don't want to hear it no more. They don't want to hear it. People on Facebook, people on YouTube. There's a certain amount of group that messes with me, but a lot of them, they running. They running. And you can run, but you have to come back and sing. You have to, because the stuff that I'm saying, you want to know. You want to know. People laughed at me when I had mason jars 10 years ago. Glass ones. My survival kit. Why I had crushed coal. Why I had a whole bunch of what's it called? Q-tips and cotton. They laughed at me. They said, "What is wrong with you?" This is the reason why I had it. Once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. You can't. You can't. And there's a reason why they said they're going to take 2 to 3 billion. You better watch that dude. You better watch that dude, man. That billionaire that you keep seeing. You better watch him. I'm telling you. And I ain't going to say that you have to peep him. He's on some bull crap. I'm telling you. And there's a reason why they took out Steve Jobs. I said it a long time ago. That man didn't die for something crazy. They did something to him, man. And they hijacked that Apple, man, because they needed something from what he was thinking in his mind. They wanted it. And I think he fought against it. And it cost him his life. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. He just all of a sudden, bloop. I said, "Oh, what happened to him?" And he started getting sick and he was all thin. And I said, nah, they did something to him. Because at that time he was pumping out stuff consistently. And he was getting stronger, and you kept seeing it. And I was like, yo, I said, whoa, man, that dude, I said, he better slow that down what he producing. Because they couldn't take it from him. You wasn't just going to literally take that from him. They had to actually do something to him. They don't want the truth. A lot of people don't seem to care about why shit happens. Nah, they don't. They don't care. They don't care. It's cause and effect. It's one thing my dad always told me. He said, if you see an effect, there was a cause. He said, don't ever move from that. He said, you can live off of life and move through life off of basic common sense. That's all you need. That's it. They keep making you think you need all this and all that. The only reason I study hard is because of the way they manipulated us. And we didn't learn too much. So I have to go in books to find stuff to connect the dots. Because I'm very well learned. And I just got taught something the other day by a brother. He taught me something. Yo, it hurt me so bad. Bad. Because I was like, what? It was so easy and so minuscule. I was like, what? And when he said it, everything that I ever learned started to mean and had so much more meaning to it. I was like, wow. Just a little. I said, thank you, man. I said, that was crazy. And it blew my mind. I actually had to get off a line with him because it blew my mind. They also know a lot of people will stiff neck and not see the forest for the trees. They probably used what they wanted to use on us, on him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. You just got to watch them, man. You just got to watch them. This was a good one for me. I actually went over an hour on this one. It was pretty easy after y'all did with me. You know what I'm saying? And y'all helped me through there. And I'm very, very thankful for everybody that watched this live with me, because y'all gave me the energy I was giving you. You gave it back to me, and it made me want to keep, you know what I mean, keep going. And it started to bring stuff out of me. So I appreciate every single one of y'all on here, man, because y'all all helped in this episode. And I just need more and more of it, and people just to constantly just follow, you know, so we can do what we got to do. That's one thing about me. I'm very genuine, and that's how I mean. That's why when stuff bothers me and somebody does something to me, I snap on them. And it looks like I'm being real mean to people. It's not. It's because I'm a caring person, and I don't like when people just play with me. I just don't like that. So that's why it looks like that, but that's not how I really am. Daddy has an 8th grade education, and I would follow him blindly over a Harvard-educated man. I would too. It was great. Thanks for having us. And that's all. Love y'all. Good night. You know, and I'll see y'all next Tuesday, God willing, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Weekly Scheme Podcast. And we're out of here, man. Gain that knowledge and don't let people just tell you anything. Learn it on your own. Love y'all.